Lovely to have you back. Still to come, it's... Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
How are you?
Bye.
Louise's dream garden. It really was one of my favourites when it was finished. I'm joined now by one of the team who worked alongside me on that garden, Francis Tophill. So, this is your first ever telly. And that programme was your first ever television programme. How different was it to what you imagined?
Oh, very different. A bit daunting, but actually it was so much fun. It was fine.
Because you sort of forget about the telly after
You do.
a while.
You just get on with gardening like we used to.
But like we used to. But what a challenge, what a summer to do a series like this when it tipped down on us the whole time.
It did.
You battled, aren't you, and Katie?
It was fine. It's fun. It's nice.
Were you pleased with what we did, with what we managed to create in such a short time?
Fantastic. I thought they were all amazing gardens, and that was the fantastic thing about it, was that they really were proper gardens and well designed and
properly planted.
Yeah.
Yes. What Louise wanted in this particular garden was a garden with a Japanese flavour, but it already had an area of decking. This is what David Dominy did to improve it.
The one thing about timber outside is it's not really meant to be lying down flat and horizontal. Most of it's vertical. So by being horizontal, it means when the sun bakes down, it cracks and splits the wood. And then during the winter, we get a massive amount of water and moisture on the surface where mould and things grow. So we need to clear all of that off and expose the pores of the timber and the grain too, so we can transform it and make it look fantastic. That'll do the job. I know you're liking it. Now, the key thing is when you're looking to apply this, is to really work it well into the timbers, around where the nails are, if there's any cracks, and it seeps through the pores of the wood. It's protecting and sealing and giving it that Oriental noir.
Oriental noir. He's a man with a Turner phrase, isn't he? Because a lot of people don't like decking. It gets a lot of stick.
No, they don't, and it has got its problems in the rain and things like that. But an alternative, if you don't like it...
It can get a bit slippy, but yeah.
Can get slippery. This is black limestone.
God, it's hefty stuff, isn't it?
It is.
So it's not slate at all.
It's not.
Proper
It looks
black.
like slate.
Sawn on that side.
Yeah.
And then sort of riven on this side. The thing about this stone, of course, is you do need to pressure wash it if you will get a bit of green slime on it. So this can be just as slippery as decking, and you break your hip rather than just bruise it on there. So make sure, if you do have it, that you do whiz it all off with a pressure washer.
But it's a great option and not that expensive, £25 a metre for this.
That's extremely good, isn't it? And this shade, of course, will give you that Japanesey feel.
Definitely, and in a linear
rather than lines,
like
rather than staggered. But if you do want an alternative to wooden decking, Francis, you brought this along, which is one. It looks like wood. We've got the pattern on it, but if you look at it here, you can see it's quite. It feels like plastic. What is it?
It's composite decking made of recycled wood pulp and some plastic carrier bags, things like that. But it's really good for the environment, and as well as it doesn't warp like wood, and it won't be slippery like wood.
You've also got these wonderful little clips that you just, I'm doing this wrong, aren't I?
Upside down.
Upside down, that's it. You clip that in there, and you screw that right down. Then, of course, when the next one comes up against it, you don't see the fixings.
No, and the spacing between them is perfect, always.
And it looks just like this then. So, there are alternatives. But Francis also had the challenge of planting up the garden in a Japanese style, and that included selecting suitable containers. Here she is in action. When you're planting up big containers, make sure you get plenty of drainage. Just drill a few holes and drop in some broken pots or any old bits of rubble lying around the garden to stop them getting blocked. Only the top half needs good quality compost, and compact it down so it doesn't sink when you first water it.
It's really important when you're planting something like this, something so structural, that you get it the right level in the pot. It's too easy just to plonk it in and think, no, that's fine. But actually, if this is half buried or if it's too high, it's going to look really weird. And it's it being such a big, striking feature, we need to make sure it's really perfect. And you just compact it in there. And we're just going to top that up with compost, and then we should be done. Perfect.
Do you know, I was so grateful for those bright red containers in that dreary
They
weather.
were very bright, weren't they?
They brought a bit of zing to the garden, didn't they? Not, of course,
They
for everybody's
did.
taste, Philip.
Not at all. But there are some alternatives if you don't like it.
These are lovely.
They are.
Tin.